Here we are at the House of Xenotology, Glarzokology, and other ologies. And let me tell you, Scientology has reached another low. Scientology has reached another low, and that low is now, if you see on the left-hand side of my screen that debris field, that is the guy who attacked Confident Chris a couple months ago. And obviously, though can't be proven at this point, but it's obvious, Scientology has paid or in some way enticed this thug to come and set up shop here. Is that random? Is that just a coincidence? I don't think so, people. I heard that. I heard Streets was arrested, and I have not gotten more information, so if any of you guys have information on that, please tell me about it. I was just speaking with somebody who was on the case, right here where I stand. So yeah, Streets was arrested. I don't know the details. Did they come and pick him up at his house? Did they, because I heard he was arrested this morning, like you said. And if so, then the question is, was he out doing something? Was he out protesting this morning? Or did they come and get him? That's what I'm curious about. But yeah, please, anybody with any information on this, I would love to hear more, because I just heard about it 5 minutes ago. So yes. And the other news, that Scientology has hired a thug, somebody who attacked a protester a few months ago, and this guy now is camped out here. He was in the parking structure, just a few feet from the individuals, sitting in... Tell me more, tell me more. Which parking structure? Which individuals? Okay. Oh, so was this UCLA or Gaza protests? Rice Hall, UCLA. Okay. So not Scientology related, but hey, it's Streets, so we don't want him out there. But it was a sit-in. Okay, okay. So, as you guys can see here on the left of your screen, Scientology has most likely, I think it's kind of obvious, installed the attacker of Confident Chris here on the sidewalk. And what's funny is that there's a bunch of chalk written over there saying danger, pointing to the guy. I saw in live streams yesterday that the cops would not do anything. They wouldn't arrest him because they said it was a misdemeanor. So if somebody punches you, knocks out your tooth, and does it while robbing you, he did ask for the phone. According to the Hollywood Police Department, that's a misdemeanor. Somebody can come up, try to rob you on the street and then attack you when you won't hand your phone over, and that's a misdemeanor? Are you fucking serious? So anyway, we got this guy over here. All right. Getting acknowledgement from skateboards. Yeah, it's so messed up, Christina. It's like the but again, the obviousness of Scientology is just so striking. You know, the blatant way that Scientology will employ a criminal to do their bidding. You know, they will stoop at nothing. And I mean, fair game itself is basically like you could do anything to anybody that protests against Scientology. You can hurt them in any way you choose if they are seen to be hurting Scientology in any way. And this is some bullshit, man. This has to stop. We get to protest. We have First Amendment rights. We should not be subject to physical attack, false arrest, swatting calls, any of that crap. If Scientology has something to say, if they would like to have a public debate, a calm cycle Scientology, then we would like to have that too. We would love to have a calm cycle with you. Why can you not communicate, Scientology? Aren't you ashamed for your inability to communicate? L. Ron Hubbard could communicate, I mean, badly, but, you know, he wrote more books of bullshit than anybody else in the world, otherwise known as fiction. But in L. Ron Hubbard's case, we will call it books of bullshit. And L. Ron Hubbard wrote more books of bullshit than anybody. The one thing that really makes me angry is he has weapons, that are supposedly illegal. On top of that, some mental illness, cops don't care. Yeah. And so Scientology, streets followed the cops in the structure and was arrested for filming. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the update. Because I was wondering, you know, I didn't think he would be doing anything that early. DOA's there. Awesome. Of course he is. We can count on DOA showing up on the scene every time. That dude is a force of nature. Total force of nature. So here we are at Big Blue. And like my title suggests, A-aron should have been a lawyer, because that dude, exactly, if the cult didn't want him there, security would have chased him off, they would have intimidated, they would have done something. No, they probably gave him a good amount of money to set up shop there. But anyway, back to A-aron. The way Aaron laid out his case the other day in the Elephant in the Room video was a tour de force, as they would say. It was, I don't know if a lawyer would say that. I'm not sure, but for a non-lawyer, the way he so logically laid that case out, I want to see Mike Rinder respond in that way. I want to see Leah Remini respond in that way. Not just with little, you know, attacks here and there, or questioning this or questioning that. You know, Aaron lays everything out, and like he says, and having met him a couple times, he is exactly the same guy in person as in his videos on his channel. And it's true, he's a genuine guy. And the way that he laid out his case, you won't see the people attacking him laying out a case like that. They, it's like Aaron's the train going through the prairie, and they're the bandits, like taking pot shots from their horses, and it's like that's all the attackers of Aaron do. They don't sit and lay out a good case against him. It's this little innuendo, they don't have a bank account, they don't have an EIN number, they blah, 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 blah. Okay, but the fact that people on that side, I don't want there to be two sides. Aaron obviously doesn't want there to be two sides. Aaron, even after laying out that whole case, said the Aftermath Foundation does good work, continues to do good work. He's not trying to take him down or whatever. They kicked him out, so he created another foundation. Figures 2 is better than 1. What's wrong with that? Why would they be criticizing us? Why would they be criticizing Aaron? It does have that Scientology feeling to it sometimes. Kind of like, it's like a turf battle. It's like, well, we can't have these other people going against Scientology. We need to be the central clearinghouse for the protests. No, you don't. You don't need to be the central clearinghouse for the protests. And you don't need to be...
Oh, hey, Captain.
Hey, how you doing? Getting acknowledged for my captain status. If only they knew about my alien status. So, here we are, enjoying the culty vibes. And, so Aaron laid out a brilliant case. And he waited, but the fact that he waited so long is also a sign of his temperament, of wanting to get things right. Just in case what high school would have been like, right? Yeah, Aaron, you're getting a taste for that high school experience that you missed. Yeah. Mean girls, bullies, all kinds of shit like that. Yeah, perfect. Aaron's not missing a thing in this life. So, yeah. The way that he described it, look, here's what it comes down to. If we have the documents to sink Scientology, but they happen to hurt some people who have left, well, those people need to get out. Hello.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I just dropped my kid off and I've got my chat on and it's blowing up telling me that Streets arrested. Down there.
Yep. They're telling me all about it here.
I'm wondering if I should venture down there.
You can, yeah. Why not?
Well, DOA needs some battery packs, it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Oh, don't be anxious, you guys. Yeah, he's up in the garage yelling at cops. There is a media line now. Oh, okay. Apparently they took no homeless man's here. They pushed call. I just drove by that disgusting file. Made it to the main media having conference with police.
Isn't it great how Scientology has become a gathering place for anti-Scientology people? It's pretty awesome. Where all the news is traded back and forth, and we all get our updates here. And we get to protest at the same time. It's beautiful. Thanks, Justin.
All right, you guys. So it sounds like Jess is on her way,
Yeah.
and DOA is on the media line. I mean, the thing that's pissing me off is that you cannot. They got in the cop car and turned the streets phone off. That's illegal. How do you do that? You cannot stop someone's First Amendment right. I mean, and they're just doing whatever they want, and they're going to
Yeah.
try to use that they were breaking up and blah 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 blah. DOA is yelling. I'm sure he is. All right,
I'm sure he is. Yep, we can count on him for that.
nice.
Making sure they know what assholes they are in case they forgot.
Tell me your name and your chat again.
Davey Mismanage.
Maybe mismanaged, you guys. He's here holding on the floor. Where are the other ones?
Scattering. There's different things going on, but one guy that was here was going to do some other stuff to help streets, and somebody else's Jay's helping Tori with something, and you know,
It's a collective.
yeah.
What we have to do.
We're all in it, you know. It's
Yeah. I mean,
I know.
he's the one that hit Chris.
Yeah. I know. I just been talking about it. I mean, it's just like they are so obvious. The crap that they do, like
Corrupt LAPD. The
it's so
fascists
messed
of
up.
LAPD are fascists. I know you're on the fucking fascists. Ugh. All right.
Oh, I gotta see your setup, but I gotta take it up to my car.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you just hang it off there.
Yeah, I just hang it out there, and then I have another one that's got like a suction cup.
Right, yeah.
But I can't find it. I'm always struggling trying to find it. Yeah, it just hangs on the rearview mirror. Yeah, you know,
Could be good for road trips.
I don't know if I got this off of Temu. I'm a Temu addict. Do you know Temu, the website?
I know
It's
what
so
it is.
cheap. It's
Yeah.
very inexpensive.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I mean, it's cheap. I won't give it a fancy inexpensive name. It's cheap.
It's
but
cheap.
you
Hey,
gotta
I
know
like
which
cheap.
Stuff, because some stuff falls apart, some stuff lasts. But I've now been shopping on it since the pandemic, so I kind of know
Yeah.
what is good and what's worth it.
Right.
Now. But I have a bag of stuff. If I can remember, I'll grab some.
Awesome. You going over there?
You know, I just jumped out of the house to drop my kid off, so I need to like go home and like put
Right.
my test clothes on, get my backpack and all my stuff, and see kind of where.
Get suited up for battle.
I'm young, so my voice hasn't even started. Okay, guys. Thank you for letting me know what's happening. I'm gonna hit the
Nice.
highway and hit
DOA
the homestead.
is doing God's work, as they say, or Xenu's work, as they would say here.
That guy's disgusting. All right, I will catch up with you.
All right.
I will jump on your chat, you guys.
Thanks for stopping by,
Yeah, has to be feeling shame.
and good luck over there.
All right, well, we'll see what happens, y'all.
Send them my love.
I will. Yeah, I got the next 2. I worked 3 days now. I got 2 days off. I'm ready to go. I'm well rested. All right.
All energized. Yeah.
Monday morning to you.
Damn, man. We're starting off quick here Monday morning.
I'm gonna go get my regalia on it.
What's your channel again?
Sassafras 0808.
0808. Sassafras 0808.
Yeah, or some people find me on Sense of Sassafras. I can't, you know.
Sense of Sassafras also.
I don't know. I
Okay.
guess on the live chat website, it shows at Sense of Sassafras, because I guess that's how I set my YouTube up years and years.
Well,
ago.
there's the name, and then there's the handle with the @ thing, and those are different.
Oh, so I gotta reverse it.
You
So
can, yeah.
The @ is the handle. And that's how people find you.
Yeah, if you go into the advanced settings, you should be able to change it.
Yeah.
Chat.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, because I'm at at Sense of Sassafras is my YouTube before this whole Scientology started, right?
Yeah, you might want to do @ Sassafras and then the sense of,
Sassafras
yeah,
is
right.
the name.
But you can change those like
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
You know, they don't mind you changing it.
Because I was looking, I recognized it.
As long as Sassafras is in there, they'll
Yeah.
find you.
Sassafras 0808, which is
0808.
the Leo in me, the lioness. That's why I'm so fiery. But that's why I chose 0808. guys. Okay, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go get in the thick of it. I'm gonna talk to my friend who's got at Ronald Reagan. I hope I can park there. I'm trying to think about the back road getting because they're saying all the streets are blocked.
Oh, right.
Get in, but I'll figure
Just
it my way.
Westwood, anywhere. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Guys, love and
Good
light.
luck. I don't think the attacker is packing up. I think he's just kind of, shuffling things around. I don't think he's preparing to leave or anything like that. That's not my guess. They're asking, is he packing up?
Parking enforcement on the Scientology security officer's cars. So
Yeah, awesome.
I had to be on hold for 18 minutes, but I finally got to it.
We have Scientology breaking other laws here by parking cars in spots where, they just stay too long. Yeah, the attacker is just, just kind of wandering around and, shuffling garbage from one spot to another, basically, is what it looks like. I don't think he's given up or anything. But, yeah. So, big start to the week, huh? No, he's there for a while. I'm sure Scientology's giving him quite something to be there. I'm sure that they are paying him well, better than what he's used to receiving by whatever means of robbery or whatever else he does for a living. But, so, anyway. Back. Oh, DOA is confronting the press. Nice! That's what we need. Confront the press any chance you get about why aren't they following this story about Scientology. This is a huge story. This is everything that you would want if you were a journalist. Number one, you have a ready-made audience of all of our viewers, of all of our collective channels. They're bound to give you hits. Read your article, right? Anything that any journalist does now about Scientology is probably going to be read by almost all of us, at the least. Not only that, how many thousands of people worldwide see people protesting Scientology every day? And how many of those people ask themselves, what are those people protesting? Why are they protesting it? What's behind all of this? Well, that's where you journalists could come in. If you were doing your job in terms of Scientology, in terms of exposing the cult, yeah, people are curious. Exactly, Mandy Me. They are curious. And they either walk by and they wave at us. Thank you, Ms. Pelot. Thank you so much. That makes a huge difference in my life, to be honest. Getting that ball rolling. Yeah, the guy was being paid by Seals and Hamburgers. Let's see. Thanks, Captain Davey, for covering the base of Big Blue. Crazy morning in LA. Justice for streets and media observers and curfew violators that you see. Yeah, that guy was being paid by. Thank you. And thanks for activating that like button. Yeah, so for the press to basically ignore this situation, Like, what else is going on in the streets of LA? Well, besides a little Gaza protesting, but that came after us. We were the originals in the protesting world this year. And yeah, it's normal that those much larger protests get a lot of news, of course. But now that the press has gotten a little taste for covering protests, maybe they want to consider covering this one a little bit more. Because let's be honest, they barely covered it. Okay? We have barely gotten any news coverage at all. And we're taking down a cult, a worldwide human trafficking cult. So, yeah, exactly. This is something, okay, anybody, if you encounter a journalist, please tell them this is not the Scientology of 30 years ago that's going to sue you into oblivion. This is the Scientology of today that is a little bit scared to sue anybody because they don't want to subject themselves to the discovery process. They don't want people rifling through their papers. And by the way, speaking of papers, A-aron, when he got the papers about Scientology, yeah, they are scared, the journalists. You know, the first thing that he thought is like, why have these not been made public and shared around all over the place? Is it because, now, look, if Mike Render was the head of OSA for what, 20 years, 30 years, I forget, he gave the papers to the victims. Yeah, well, and supposedly he said the FBI had them, but, you know, they're not really legible. You know, they're legible, but they're not understandable without somebody interpreting all the Scientologies in the papers. So, you know, it requires some work. It requires a former Scientologist to explain what is being discussed. But the thing is, if you're going to come out of Scientology after you've been the head of OSA, and like A-aron was saying, your job was hurting people, shutting down critics, punishing people who leave Scientology, and then the next day you go out and you're anti-Scientology, and you make good money from that, and fine. I have no problem with people making good money from being anti-Scientology. I would like to make $5 million a year for being anti-Scientology. I don't see it happening yet, but you know, any billionaires out there wanting to make a contribution, I'm wide open. But anyway, the thing is, you don't run OSA for decades without having some dirt on your hands. And we know that. And we know that people are cult members. Let's get a little more shadowiness. And, you know, there's a certain level of forgiveness available to those who ask for it. Now, when A-aron's secrets came out, when he got voted off the board of the Aftermath Foundation, he came out and he said what was up. He told his secrets. And it was embarrassing, and he didn't like doing it. And, you know, it was private stuff that he didn't want to talk about it. But he did it to clear the air, to be transparent, and these people that are criticizing him cannot say the same thing. And so they should think about that. Right. Render won't admit anything. and A-aron was honest. Now, is there something you could find about A-aron that you wouldn't like? Is it possible that you would meet A-aron and not personally like him as a person? Yeah, it's possible. So what? Oh, we got a goon up in the parking garage. Yay. That must be the choice Sea Org job. Yeah, we're not going to be able to see him here, but basically he was up there straight ahead at the top floor. Anyway, what a job for being in the Sea Org. Standing in a parking garage monitoring people who are making live streams. You know what? Why don't you watch the live stream instead? Give me another view, boy. Yeah, Jay looked like he needed a little rest, but I don't think he's going to get any rest because he's off to do the Lord's work in another area of the Galactic Federation at the moment. So, yeah, I don't think there's a lot of rest in his future. But anyway, yeah, he's gone now. But my colleague over there, Matthew, was waving and yelling at him and letting him know we see you. Did who help Streets? No. You're talking about Jay. No, he's going to do some other of the Lord's work. Sassafras 0808. She's indirectly on her way to go help, and DOA's there making noise, I hear. That's awesome. DOA kind of has two noise settings, either absolute silent or 11. So, well, no, there's a medium one where you get to talk to him. But yeah, DOA has one of those nicely projecting voices, definitely. Hello, sir. So yeah, it's anyway, what I'm saying about Mike Rinder and his crew, be as transparent as A-aron. State your case as clearly and as thoroughly as A-aron. Let's have the debate. Let's put it out there. Nothing to hide. And the fact is, if you leave the cult, Mike Rinder, and you confess to your crimes committed on behalf of the cult, a lot of people will have sympathy. A lot of people will give you a pass. I'm not saying they will right now. I'm saying if you would have done it on day one or very soon thereafter, yes, exactly. Instead of using these fair game tactics, you actually come out and do what A-aron did. You're transparent, you make your case, you talk to the people, you admit to your faults, you show a little vulnerability. The fact is that people who did things while they were in the cult, horrible things a lot of times, they do get a lot of understanding if they are honest. Now, if you ran OSA for decades and you did thousands of horrible things to thousands of people, it might be a long confession. You know what Mike Rinder should do? He should sit down with those documents and he should make a YouTube video for every single one or every single case or every single person that was harmed, he should go through those documents, not just go through the documents about Tom Cruise jumping on a couch and whatever. Go through the documents about where Mike Rinder came up with fair game things. If he did, I don't know the details, but I assume if you're head of OSA, you came up with a lot of fair game shit. I don't think that's a stretch. That you should do a bunch of YouTube videos. Go through the documents. Tell us what you did. Tell us what other people did. Tell us what David Miscavige signed off on. Be transparent. You can use A-aron's line, I don't know, I grew up in a cult. You know, right? You could say, look, man, coming out of a cult is not a one-day thing. It's not like you cross the street and it's all over. There's still a lot of unwinding that needs to go on in the brain. There's a lot of beliefs that need to be unwound. There's a lot of deprogramming that needs to happen. So, we understand if you did bad things, you're ashamed of it, you've been hiding these things. We don't understand if 10 years later, whatever, I don't know dates. I didn't grow up in a cult, but I grew up convincing myself I'm not good at math. So don't listen to me on numbers. They're only vague references to reality. But anyway, the thing is, we understand that you were in a cult. And true, narcissism does not allow for humility. In fact, humility is something narcissists have no interest in. Ego aggrandizement, yeah, for sure. And then, you know, we get that bureaucratic situation. The bureaucratic situation, what I mean by that is you have Rinder. You have all the other people on the board of the Aftermath Foundation. And then you have Leah Remini. You have, you know, you have this structure that on one level has done some of the best work against Scientology of anybody in this sector of the Galactic Federation. And that comes from Xenu's daddy. So you can take that to the bank. But you also might be going through a bureaucratic self-protection kind of thing, like bureaucracies are all about self-preservation and growing themselves, but at least self-preservation. Now, obviously, this isn't a bureaucracy, but what I'm saying is it's a similar behavior. It's like if Leah Remini is backing this shit, either she doesn't know what's up and has picked the wrong side, or she just has a stake in these people and this foundation that has the name of her show on it and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, bureaucracies are like, you know, changing the bureaucracy's direction, like turning an oil tanker. And, you know, it's just easier to just keep driving straight with the oil tanker than to attempt the U-turn, you know, that takes forever. She could be a leader, you know. I don't think Leah Remini has any reason to be the leader. I think that the only reason to have this kind of issue is because my guess is that Mike Rinder has so many ghosts in his closet that he doesn't want coming out, skeletons in his closet, whatnot, and that he is trying to stop this other form of protest because of a turf war or whatever. Okay, so the cops were called on illegally parked Scientology cars. So Scientology's been parking cars over here in order to stop the protests. See, they just park the Scientology cars here and just leave them. And they don't put the quarters in the meter, but they just want to stop protests. So at least they should be paying. I don't know how long it took. They were called. They were summoned here, within the last half an hour. So they did respond quickly to the summons, and that's beautiful. That's very nice. We're happy with that version of police response. Thank you very much. Parking dudes, awesome. So where are we on this discussion? Right. Yeah, if Rinder's exposed, it impacts her credibility. Yeah. But the thing is, she could throw him under the bus. She could say, oh, how stupid of me not to realize that obviously this guy was the head of OSA. Why did I not do my due diligence? Mea culpa. I messed up. Yeah. Hey, brain fog. My San Francisco journey's been slightly delayed, but I will be there at some point. You've been doing good work there. Really good to see how you and DOA mended fences right away the next day after your little misunderstanding. Bravo to both of you for that. Where were we? Yeah, I think the whole thing is that we, on this side, on the A-aron side of the spectrum here, no, Leah doesn't get a pass. Nobody gets an automatic pass for sure. But we have to understand that people who are doing what we're doing with no organization, we're a lot more nimble in our actions. We're a lot more able to do what we need to do at the moment. But like I say, with this bureaucracy idea about the Aftermath Foundation, about Leah Remini and the whole thing, I have barely gotten enough caffeination today, but the excitement is helping. Oh, here, having a little calm cycle with parking enforcement. Nice. Now we got parking enforcement involved in regulating the cult of Scientology. That is nice. At least we got one branch fulfilling their public duties. I would rate parking as the number one people. doing the Lord's work and Xenu's work here. I would rate the fire department as number 2 because they're not arresting anybody, and they look really fucking annoyed when they know that Scientology has punked them again. But coming in last, first worst, LAPD, Hollywood division especially, because not cool, you guys. Well, you know, if Leah's weird, whatever. I mean, she definitely has that pushiness of Scientology intent, you know, whatever. Like when I saw her on Joe Rogan, the way she, you know, she does this pushy commanding thing. You know, it's a diva thing, whatever. Look, I lived in New York for a long time. I like those, you know, Brooklyn Italian personalities. I'm sure Leah is fun as hell to hang out with, whatever. And, you know, she probably trusts Rinder and whatnot. A very cold demeanor. Yeah. You know, look, I don't know Leah, whatever. I'm sure she's a mixed bag, but it's not about Leah. You know, it's not about, you lived in the Bronx, yeah? Well, I was very close to the Bronx. I was up at the very, very, very top of Manhattan, like 200th Street, right by the Bronx. Right, so I know the area. But anyway, but I was only there for a couple years, a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, you know, the thing is, these people should be supporting us. We are the ones doing the frontline work right now. Now, we're standing on the shoulders of giants or weird people or whatever, but we're all glad that Leah's show happened. Okay, it softened them up for us. We're all glad of everybody who came before us, but now this is the cutting edge of the anti-Scientology protest movement. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Hey Bob, how's it going? So we are at the forefront of this right now. That doesn't take anything away from Leah's show. It doesn't take anything away from the Aftermath Foundation. I was telling people call the Aftermath Foundation until we got the SPTV number, SPTV Foundation number. Okay, even when this crap was already started. You know, and still, if somebody was going to say, okay, I'm not comfortable with this whole A-aron thing and you guys, I'm going to either call the Aftermath Foundation or I'm going to stay in Scientology. I would say call the Aftermath Foundation, please. Okay? One thing, you know, in revolutionary movements, if I could call this a revolutionary movement, well, we're trying to revolutionize this cult, is that they usually get stuck in infighting. Okay, they break up into factions, they put all their energy into fighting each other, and then the revolution never happens. Not on my watch. That's not what we're doing this time, okay? I'm not gonna get caught up in attacking them. Okay? I'm saying, here's what they should do. If they're not doing it, watch them, keep an eye on them, anybody that's attacking the idea of us protesting, you gotta wonder whether they really want to bring out the truth about Scientology. Because, I mean, who shut down the Hollywood Testing Center? It wasn't the Aftermath Foundation. It wasn't the show. Okay? It was a bunch of people with cameras saying it's a cult. Don't do it. Es una secta. Okay? That's who shut down the testing center. And yeah, you could tell me, well, it's not totally shut down. There's people in there, and there's people going out undercover with brochures. They even tried to give them to streets, which was fucking hilarious. But the thing is, they're not doing what they were doing before. They have to hide. They have to go undercover. It's like an undercover cop. They're not wearing their uniform because they don't want people to know they're a cop. So they can hang out with people that hate cops and are afraid of cops. So if that's what Scientology has to do out on the street, where they're saying they're the fastest growing religion on earth, but they can't even suit up for the game, I would call that a win for us. Will the testing center reopen? Good question. Will it? Yeah, it's open technically. There's people behind those frosted windows doing something. And what I heard, maybe it was from A-aron, is that for the Sea Org members, when they're getting protests and they just get to hang out doing nothing, that's a good day. That's like the best it ever gets in the Sea Org, when you got to hunker down because there's protests and you can't even go out and do your body routing on the streets. That's a good day for Sea Org members. So, you know, what do these Aftermath Foundation people have against A-aron? What's the big thing that he did? Did he run OSA for decades and destroy families and individuals? No. Did he use the wrong terminology and say open marriage when he should have used some other words? Maybe. Did he cheat on his wife? No. He basically said to his wife, I want to get divorced, but if you don't want to get divorced, we could stay married, but I consider us not married. And so either we could do this like an open marriage, or we can get a divorce and I will leave it up to you. And not that that's a great message for a wife to get from her husband, but it is a message that wives and husbands get from their significant others every day of the year. Okay. And usually they don't get that option. Usually it's divorce or nothing. So, you know, was it messy? Whatever. And like A-aron said, he considers his 20-year marriage a success because they got together in the Sea Org. They didn't know each other. When you become irrelevant, yeah, you can sit by and let the new faction take over, or you can do what they're doing. Or you can join us. Okay, like DOA said yesterday on his stream, if Leah Remini came down here, it'd be good for everybody. It'd be good for Leah Remini. but not like she needs the exposure. But, you know, if we just had all of us having our own little live stream, 5-minute interview of Leah Remini out in front of Big Blue, all those videos would go viral, and that would be good for everybody. That would be good for Leah, if Leah cares about shutting this down, which I think she does. I don't think Leah has any huge evil intentions, except, like I said, preserving the status quo, the bureaucracy. You know, the worst thing maybe that her name is so linked with Mike Rinder. But the thing is, if it comes out that Mike Rinder's guilty of a bunch of shit that Leah has no part of and Leah didn't know about and Leah wasn't actively hiding, then what's the problem? Leah can just throw his ass under the bus and come out with us. I love getting these DOA updates, you know. Man, that dude can sass some cops like I never would, you know. You know, when I say, like, I don't yell at the cops or whatever, like DOA, I'm not criticizing DOA in any way. It's just not my style. But I thoroughly enjoy it, you know, even if it is a little uncomfortable because, you know, I mean, I was raised with Adam 12, man, and if you don't know what that is, look it up on YouTube. 2 goofy-ass cops being all, you know, clean-cut, all-American boys, you know. There was no swatting back then. There was no SWAT team back then. You know, there was 2 guys with a gun and a stick and, you know, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And the idea of yelling pigs at them like that, well, we did see that with the Vietnam War kind of stuff. You remember Adam 12? Yeah. Policing has changed a little bit since Adam 12. But anyway, you know, that and Dragnet, you know, that was my my first knowledge about cops. Dragnet was so goofy, like when they would they would have these scenes where, you know, it was like with a hippie or something talking about drugs, and they were hilarious. So anyway, feel free to press the like button if Xenu calls on you to do so deep within your heart. Way back in the day, yeah. Showing my age, but not trying to hide it anyway. Anyway, so here's what I would like. I would like for Mike Rinder to just talk about his shit, man. Just talk to us. Yeah, well, look, yeah, elitist Mike Rinder, that's Ms. Pelot. That's the thing with coming out of a cult. That there is, yeah, Rinder should go away. Well, he has kind of gone away practically. The thing is, there's a cult mentality that survives oftentimes in people's consciousness after they leave the cult. There's an us versus them mentality going on, and if you're not with us, then you must be a them. So then all that Scientology training of fair game and whatever kicks in, and maybe they feel they're in the right. Pelo, yeah. I said it right. Cool. Well, I don't know when people actually would pronounce it in a French way here in America. Um, but are you French? Are you French Canadian? Anything like that? Ms. Pelot? Um, there don't need to be two sides. The only two sides we need is Scientology and us. And we don't even need Scientology. So we only need one side. Us. We're the winners. Yay. Yay for us. We don't need infighting. We can gladly have two foundations that are helping people leave Scientology. What would be the problem with that? I think that's a beautiful thing. I wouldn't mind if there were 10 foundations of people leaving Scientology. If so, there should be ideally one kind of clearinghouse organization, that could steer you to whoever is best suited to help you in your particular situation. Right, but spoken American, but are you from Louisiana, anything like that, or you just know how to pronounce your name in French? But yeah, I speak French, so that kind of helps me pronounce some French names. Not always, though, because I'm not totally perfect at French. Absolutely not. Anyway, there don't need to be different sides. We don't need to spend a lot of time battling them. I'm not going to do so. I'm not battling them. I'm just saying, here's what I think would work better for everybody. Okay? If you're guilty, like A-aron was guilty of some indiscretions, some dumb shit. Let's be honest. No big deal. What, a few months ago he hooked up with some woman that came on to him, or more than a few months ago. And he told his story on YouTube, and he was vulnerable, and he was honest, and he was ashamed and humiliated, but he did it anyway. Mike Rinder could learn from that. Mike Rinder is holding on to a little more poisedness. Hello, well, better late than never. Let's be a cliche dude, cis cat girl. But no, thanks for joining. We're having an eventful morning. We have okay, so so Streets and DOA have the same lawyer. Awesome. So Streets is still near enough to DOA. Oh, here comes a siren. Is this going to be our big day? Where the siren is for us? Who knows? Oh, because of Francois Costa. Hi, Jesper. Good evening. Good morning to me. Is it really evening for you? That's wild. What the hell is this buzzing sound? Gimbal seemed to be freaking out there for some reason. I guess it was not level. Sorry about that. Oh, it's still going. Sorry. Here, let me. I'm on unlevel ground here. Let me turn this off. 1 second. It's gonna flip. 1 second. Sorry about that. I guess I'm just gonna have to. Sorry about that, everybody. My gimbal just started getting weird and vibrating, so sorry about the noise. I don't know what's up with that. Better? Okay. Yeah, we'll just have to do it handheld right now for a while, see what's up. But yeah, you know, we don't need factionalism. We don't need infighting. We need to keep our eye on the ball. And if all of our attention is going to this Mike Rinder situation, then it's taking our focus off of Scientology. Now, we know what happened with Marty Rathbun, and that it does appear that Marty Rathbun was paid off by Scientology or blackmailed. There's a story about him hitting his adopted kid. Don't know whether that's true or not, but that Scientology had cameras filming his backyard, and when he disciplined his child and the adoption process was still going on, and he was not assured of actually being able to adopt the kid, that Scientology might have just blackmailed him to not speak up about them anymore, and maybe cut him a big check. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's happened with Mike Rinder, because I think Rinder has gotten enough money from his TV career that he doesn't need to sell out to Scientology. But all these files that A-aron has in his possession seem to indicate that Rinder was right there where a lot of the crimes of Scientology were being committed, and that he was even committing those crimes personally, or just basically managing them being committed. I mean, when you run an organization and you have responsibility for that organization and it commits crimes, then exactly. A-aron wears it all on his sleeve. He is transparent. He shows his weakness. We all see his strength. And he's not full of shit. He's not all about trying to, you know, keep a bureaucracy going. Here's one thing that we all need to keep in mind. The fact that we are so decentralized is a problem for those who want to stop us. Hello, Lord Dempsey. That's why they want to talk about our group, right? Because they want to make us a group in their mind so that we can then be attacked as one. But we are not one. We are many. We are legion. Remember, anonymous. And I might get quotes wrong. That's me. But the thing is, we are not a group. We are people, individuals, doing our individual thing with our own individual YouTube channels. And we are anarchy in its highest, most positive form. That's what we are. And this type of anarchy is not easy to control, because you go after one person, that doesn't automatically do anything to anybody else. But when you go after Render, that echoes through their whole bureaucracy. So they support the bureaucracy. I'm calling it a bureaucracy because of the way it acts, not because it's an actual government bureaucracy. But it acts like a bureaucracy. Groups in general act like bureaucracies. Look at these goobers in their prison van, trying to protect the bureaucracy from new information from people like us. They don't like new information. They don't like unauthorized thoughts by people who happen to be standing on the street. Like I said a few days ago, this is the new form of protest, and there will be people trying to make rules against it. There will be pressure put on social media platforms like YouTube to not allow people to profit off of protest, because the people who are protested against have a lot more money than the people who are protesting. And they, therefore, are much better able to pay off the politicians, the police departments. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Scientology. We don't really have a good shot at paying off politicians. We don't own buildings. But because we don't own buildings, we can't be sued to take those buildings from us, because we don't have a bureaucracy. But Scientology has a bureaucracy, and perhaps the Aftermath Foundation has a bureaucracy, where they are fighting for their self-preservation. And they have lost sight, to the degree that they fight for their own self-preservation, to the degree that they find that they have a need to take down A-aron. They are losing sight of the battle. What are they doing against Scientology these days? Where are they on these streets of LA? I don't see them. Aftermath Foundation, join us out here on the streets. Why don't you? That's an offer. That's an invitation. Come on with your signs that say Aftermath Foundation. And you might have a calm cycle or two with some of us. Oh, you're from the Aftermath Foundation? Well, what's this bullshit that you guys have been doing about A-aron? Oh, you haven't been doing it, but it's been other people? Okay. So, we'll get that all on camera. So you disavow anything trying to mess with A-aron? Cool. But you're with the Aftermath Foundation? Cool. Okay. Well, join us. Nothing more to talk about. We're all good. Okay? That's all it would take. So why is the Aftermath Foundation not out here? Why are they not flooding the streets around every Scientology organization in the world like SPTV? Okay, why don't they have Aftermath TV? Or join us. We can all be SPs together. It's okay. We're all safe. It's beautiful.
Bro.
What?
Here's $100. I like them.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Dude. Man, I got a Bitcoin little edit going on, and psychiatry's fucked. And
You got a what going on?
psychiatry actually fucked themselves, and everyone, including independent Scientologists, helped that happen.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I don't care about the result. I know the result. Okay?
Thanks.
Hey, whatever it is, just do it.
All right.
Already done.
Nice.
A guy named Billy McCall and Val Weiser, the best interpreter of the Scientologist, the guy named Aaron.
Excuse me?
I said the best interpreter in America is probably that guy, Val Weiser, and his paralegal was Billy McCall, and just call that guy.
Okay.
And I don't want any responsibility for what happened to psychiatry or whatever. They were messing with people with marijuana.
Thank
It
you.
can't be flipped anymore, and that's it. And that's it. You can be an independent, you can be whatever Scientologists want to be, Landmark Forum, Kevin Trudeau, whatever.
Yeah.
And you have a great day, bro.
All right, man. You too. Thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, I support your work. I support everybody. All right, I'll see you later, bro.
Thank you.
Go have a nice lunch.
Nice. I'll do that. Well, that's a first. Somebody just coming up to me on the street and give me $100 bill. See, the public is on our side. Yeah, I think A-aron, I don't think A-aron's going to take the time out to go to law school. But he could. I didn't necessarily get all of it. What a kind passerby. Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of beautiful thing that happens around this group. Not weird at all. Hey, I'll take weird. I live on weirdness. I'll take it. But yeah, no, I'm very grateful. Exactly, gas money. Now maybe I can go to San Francisco earlier. But because I do yearn for a little road trip. I do deserve the money. Thank you. We all do. Thank you. Yeah, you know, the thing is, they are going to want to discredit us for making money for protesting. But like I always say, making money is what the people that we are protesting against are doing far more effectively than us, and they're doing it in evil ways and we are not. So I think if people protest and happen to make money, number one, we're not making that much money unless we're out here live streaming 5 to 10 hours a day, which I have not been doing, okay? And most people don't do. You're not making that much money doing this. I wish it were a lot more. Hey, thanks for being here. And thanks for the gift. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Yeah, they make money. And look, there's going to be a wave. This is just the beginning of a huge wave of protests against everything you can think of on social media, monetized. Okay, this is the wave of the future for democracy right here, what we're doing right here. Being able to protest, being able to bring awareness, and to have a chance to recoup a little cash while we do it. You know, if we're doing this, it means we're not doing something else like a job that could be earning us money. And even if we have a job earning us money, we're doing this in our free time where we could have another job earning us more money. And we're not. Okay, because we're doing this. And this has more benefit to the world than most jobs I could think of. It really does. So why should there not be compensation for it? And the same if you're out protesting for Greenpeace against an oil company, against Arctic drilling, whatever. No way, they never gave Liz the money. That's messed up. That's fraudulent. Hey, I don't know the truth of these things, and I'm not here verifying accusations or anything like that, but that sounds pretty damn horrible. So yeah, if this is the new, do we have a bikey guy? Hey, bikey guy. Is he gonna go away once I see him? Could it be Odo? It's fucking Odo. It's Odo. Guten Tag, Odo. Wie geht's? Is he German? That's right, Odo no bullhorn. I don't know where anybody else is, but I know we just had an Odo sighting, and so that's the only thing I can think of right now, that we had an Odo sighting, and that's always a wonderful thing. After coming of age, in the age of the angry gay pope and Odo, when I told my kids in their 20s I was going to meet the angry gay pope, and then I said about Odo, they're like, oh, I remember you used to watch that when we were kids. So that is always a very fun thing. Anyway, sorry for shakiness, but my gimbal just started getting weird on me and vibrating and being loud and obnoxious to you guys. So had to shut that down. But anyway, back to the handheld life of cameraology. I know it's a rare privilege to see Odo in his natural habitat, circling Big Blue on a bicycle. It's a very thrilling event when it happens, and you know, we take full advantage of. What's up, dog?
Thanks, sir.
My pleasure. What's going on?
I'm back.
You're back, ready to go.
Streets just got transported.
Yeah, I've been getting updates on my stream. You want that spot?
You ready to leave?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to check in with everybody later. And thanks for being here. But I've gone over my amount of time that I plan to be here anyway. So, hey, if you don't mind leaving a like, if you haven't already done so, I would really appreciate it. And I will catch you later on. Today, there will be more. Thanks so much for being here. Bye-bye.